Just let me know when you guys are on. Just gonna wait for you guys to join in on the fun. Also, I don't know. I don't know, Noble. Doesn't look like Meta wants to join Kick, so I don't blame him. Not a bad idea, though, if all else fails. Ooh, I thank you, Noble. He honored my ancestors. Hello, Meta. And also, mm, we do need to make a VTuber model for her. One day, I promise you, Noble. Let's see. Okay, let's transition now. There we go. Where we last left off. So you guys ready to watch Leaflet's video on the Baldman? Alright, sounds great. Let's do this. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but why do guys like Aspen Cole and Moist Critical look like Jesus? And I'm not joking. You guys notice that? Here's the hair. I don't know. It's talking about it like the clock master.
The screen glows blue in a room of dust and mold. Another death threat, another story told.
I mean, I can see why you say that, yeah. No, 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 no. Guys, if you see this, they this one's collecting all the flags that might as well be like the Infinity Stones right here. Now, if you see this, would you date they? Probably gonna get an obvious answer, but come on, gotta know. I'll tell you my answer right now. It's a let's see, what's the delightful way? Heck no. They are indeed a mix, apparently. Why? Anyway, moving on.
They freak with a mental fucking hole. Wants to see the maggot swallow up my soul. They hope I ride on a cross of roach and slime.
The roach kingdom.
But I'm just sitting here killing fucking time.
That's me at work.
I've got the infinity gauntlet of the broken
and I was just talking about the infinity gauntlet.
The hypersexual furries, they're all so fucking sad.
Okay. Now, I'm surprised, Noble, you forgot about that one. That was an injustice that Twitch allowed. Diaper furry freaks. I'm pretty sure you remember that one just by looking at that thing. Twitch loves to be on its high horse on lots of issues, but they have no problems with this degeneracy. I mean, I'm sort of a degenerate myself, but not to that extent. At least I know I'm a sinful man. But these people seriously need Jesus. The maggot makes me think of the Shape Stealer in Gravity Falls. Really? Let me look that up for a second. What the frick? I don't think that's the one from it, but where is it? Yes, you are, Meta. You are a good boy. Let's continue moving on.
They scream into the void of a sight that doesn't care. While I'm clicking these pliers, breathing stagnant air. So put them in the box.
I agree, put them in the box.
Be cold and white. Throw the keys away.
Hey, Red.
And end this mental blight. Institutilize the rot. Let the asylums rise again. I'm the harbinger of logic. The surgeon of their pain. The world will be a paradise. A clean and silent land. When every screaming retard is down to heavy hand. Yeah, put them in the box.
Yeah. Yes. No, seriously. I think if I was emperor right now, like a true emperor, I would actually establish my first rule to create is Karen's Law, where anyone who acts like just goes ahead and acts like a total Karen, we put you in the box. No ifs, ands, or buts. We're gonna put you in the box. Done dealing with Karens. They ruined society. It was Shapeshifter. My bad. It's alright, Meta. The litter box. Considering that they're busy collecting the cats, because they're lonely and they got no man in their life, not and they will never get a man in their life. Yeah, might as well put them in the litter box. Oh man, I feel like that's an insult to my little feline buddies. Use the use the Haku box. That thing could seal away immortal elemental demon lords. Now that's not fair, Meta.
Blue skies a cesspool where the moderation.
Hey, look at Blue Sky. I think that's Blue Sky.
Every basement dwelling loser, every blue-haired pimp, advocating murder in the name of being kind, while Section 40 leaves the justice fucking blind. They say I'm a net negative
Wow, that's so
cancer
powerful.
on the earth, but their own pathetic lives haven't seen a moment's worth. They're begging on their cash apps, crying on the floor, while I'm the one they hate.
I just saw Jabba the Hot Job. Oh, I'm sorry, he Job.
And I'm the one they adore. Success is measured in decades, like the prophecy of doom. If you strike me down today, you'll be singing a different tune.
I knew it.
A million more will rise. A million more.
You know what's funny? From
Tune.
hang on. This scene, I didn't even notice that was Cajun. From what I understand, that's Leaflet's buddy right here, the brown coat, Cajun, and that right there is Charlie Kirk. If you guys didn't know that, not knew that, just a quick summary from what I was watching for the last stream of Leaflets, when she was going into detail about each part in their videos, when she made this video.
A million more will rise. A million more will fight. You can't kill an idea with your petty child.
Kirsha. That is Noble and Mai's top waifu. Yes. And I can't believe not many people knew this, but Leaflet had Kirsha do what Freerin did.
Despite I don't fear the reaper. I don't fear the grave.
I love you, Noble.
Before I was born, I was nothing. There's nothing left to save. But while I'm here, I'll be the mirror of your soul. A cynical king in a roach-infested hole.
Come on, Aspen Gold. It was your blizzard. The character turned into pause. Guys, I want us to be like these dudes. Packing heat and looking badass. I want to be like that. The progenitor run. Banana. Hirohei looks
in the
so
box.
badass
Let
like
the
this.
walls be cold and white.
Yes, Meta. We could definitely go skeet shooting. Stay strapped indeed.
Throw the keys away and end this mental blight. Institutionalize the rock. Let the
Throw the commies out of the
rise
helicopter.
again. I'm the harbinger of logic, the surgeon of their pain. The world will be a
Legal Mind said versus Johnny Chalamet.
paradise, a clean and silent land when every screaming retard is dealt a heavy hand. Put 'em in the box.
Punch.
Put 'em in the box. Go ahead and report me. I'm an irrelevant retard. Right? That's what you.
Miskip being attacked by Emiru with them Kirby plushies. Oh my god. How scary were those Kirby plushies, guys? Oh my god, Emiru is so mean. How dare she throw it at Miskip? And, Maduro's liking his new pad. Not what he used to been like when he was the dictator of Venezuela. I'm not gonna lie. Don't know who these two huggers are.
Said.
But I think I just saw Caleb Hammer just before this one.
But you're still watching. You're always watching. It is what it is.
Classical.
You're gonna be really blown away by this. It's gonna press this.
No ads. Not dealing with ads. Gotta give Leaflet credit. That was fantastic video, guys. Fantastic video. Enjoyed everything about it. And had some fun at the Karen's expense. I know, right? I'm amazed she was able to gather all these references and put them all in that video. Not gonna lie, but I didn't even know that Johnny Salami was in that video when he was attacking Legal Mindset. Yeah, if you did not know, the dude in the suit with the sword was actually Legal Mindset, and who he was fighting was actually Johnny Somali. Pretty fun stuff. Yeah, it was in this video right there. Put them in the box, full analysis. She goes into deep depth on letting us all know about that stuff. Recommend watching it if you ever just want to know all the references. Let's see. Huh. I'm. I just realized. Nux reacted to the video. The blue man. Huh. How dare he defies the blue color though. 6 6 6 6. Mouse. You have one job, mouse. Oh, there you go. Now the mouse is working. What do you guys feel like watching this time? I'm all ears listening, whether it's because she's got a lot of stuff we can watch right now. And if it's not Leaflet, we could always watch a different person. Just let me know right now while I'm just, zooming around. Is she making the Amelia anime? Huh. I think she said something about it, but I am not really sure. In fact, last I checked, before she went on her break, during Christmas, she was actually making something big. Apparently, something big. She got in touch with an anime studio, so it could be possible. But as far as I know, I don't know anything about her making the Amelia anime. So unfortunately, I don't know what to tell you on that one because she didn't really went into deep details what exactly she was planning to make. It's just that she definitely has a big surprise for us, and I can't wait to see what it is because apparently it's quite a big deal. Exactly. Decisions, decisions. You two are my friends, so I will let you decide our fate of what we'll watch. True. It would be funnier. Streisand effect. Oh, actually, there is this one right there. I saw. Where was it? It was. I just saw it too. It was Make England Great Again. Ah, that's why. Okay, hang on. And I like how we used England instead of Great Britain or the UK. Where is it? Ah, dang. Maybe I have to be more specific. Oh, there it is.
How's biz, Ash?
Great, especially with the help of Zero accounting software. I can keep my cash flow flowing by giving customers more ways to pay.
Yeah! Search Zero with an X!
Hey, do you like Charlie?
Why did you say no? You were just sending us our future. Doc, let's go.
Doc, it's a shame for the world. Charlie, You should be put in an institution for having such harmful thoughts. It's unforgivable. Dot. That girl Amelia is a total bad influence.
Yeah. Auto dubbed. Okay, I see the autoplay, but it's not. Oh, let's see. Oh, no wonder why. Yeah, you're right, Noble. Who the hell turned on auto dub? I swear to you, I promise you, I would never turn on that freaking gagey thing. So annoying. I was like wondering why was it so off-putting.
ねえチャーリー、イギリスのこと好き？
どうして行かないなんて言ったんだろう。君はただ僕らの未来を送ってくれていたのに。
行こう、世界を変えに。
残念ねチャーリー君。そんな有害な考えを持っているなんて更生施設に入ってもらうわね。許されることではないの。
あのアメリアって子は全く悪影響なんだよ。
文化を守りたいっていう気持ちのどこが悪いの？みんな自分の生まれた国や文化が大事なはずでしょう。悪いことだなんて私には思えない。
うん。今度は一緒に行くよ。
Man, that was so cool. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, Noble, for not noticing the auto dub. Like, why? I was like wondering, what the frick? I don't remember it sounding like this earlier. And it must have been set that way on the desktop instead of my mobile account. Not sure why I was acting like that. I like how the teacher is designed to have those evil eyes, so that she's also female Asana from Assassination Class. Oh, I didn't think about that until you pointed that out. I don't really like England right now. Sorry, a guy got arrested for writing transformation stories, and I'm personally insulted. Maybe the right ratted him out. You know what? I could see that happening, considering that women. That's all you need to know. They ruined Doctor Who, something Meta holds dear. You know, I totally understand. Yes, you're right. Doctor Who was something that Meta really enjoyed, and the fact that they just twisted it into something I don't even recognize. Like if I who never watched that much Doctor Who before and just only know the references see what it is now, can find that so irritable. I cannot imagine how Meta feels, who's more of a Doctor Who fan than me. Oh yeah, you did mention you want to watch Despera, so alright, for you Meta, we'll watch some Despera. Alright. Despera. Let's see what we got. Like the profile icon. The Ninja Gerbil. Alright, but what are you in the mood for? Um let's see. Starfleet Academy. What the frick? I don't even know what's going on with that one. Grizzy exposes a lot of shameless shills and their fake reactions to slop. We might watch a Grizzly after this. Horny Zoomers in Spain. Do you guys mind if I watch this one? Oh wait, hang on. I haven't started watching Doctor Who season 2 reviews yet, but I don't care if you pick. All right, thanks, Meta. Do you guys mind if I watch Mandalorian and Grogu? Why Disney fails with men? I like a lot of people's perspective on that one. I mean, my opinion, it's when it comes to Disney and Star Wars, it's pretty simple why it failed. Disney took an iconic property like Star Wars, mucked it up, turned it something unrecognizable, and says, if you don't like this, you're ism, or ISIS, or this. That is how I feel.
It's about time I made Marvel Rivals the most hero-packed shooter ever. But first, some hot redhead is trying to blast my ass a few new holes. Alright.
The Mandalorian and Grogu have a masculinity problem, and for once, I'm not even talking about Pedro.
I am a lazy 50-year-old bougie.
I am your cool slutty daddy. I want very much to live on the right side of history.
No, this is much more of a small green.
I want to live on the right side of history. Says every dumbass frickwad who's ever made the wrong bet on the wrong horse. Oh yeah, guys, by the way, it's the year of the horse, isn't it? I am not a Numa guy, but I'm just saying, Gold She is like the best thing. Totally the best thing. Gold She is like the best horse in the entire series. Not gonna lie. The horse is the healer.
Problem. Well, it's
Definitely.
ostensibly about a bounty hunter going around the universe, capturing criminals and shooting them in the face. This should obviously be a movie targeted at a male demographic. Instead, what we get is, well...
Alright, it's gonna be a controversial take. I'm not gonna lie to you. When The Mandalorian first came out, guys, I actually enjoyed season 1 and 2 was pretty alright, especially with trying to remember season 2. Damn, my mind's hurting. Season 2 was not like good as 1, but it was watchable in my opinion. All right, I'm glad you and I have the same thoughts about the Mandalorian. Meta. Hey, you're not wrong, Noble. It seems that that's the only thing that will get people to watch Star Wars drop these days. Yes, season 3 was completely garbage. That's when it was just like they didn't even bother caring anymore. They were just thinking, okay, just do that, and this will happen.
Now I can understand Disney's
It was
desire
just
to
like-
try and augment the Mandalorian in some way. Once you've outfitted him with Beskar armor, you've made him pretty much invincible,
I
and it's
probably
difficult to
should
make a
not say that.
compelling character out of someone
Really dumb.
invincible. The problem with The Mandalorian was that the first series was kind of, it had one major hit, a surprise to Disney, Baby Grogu, whose main audience was... women. And they made one noise.
Show it.
Oh, little baby Yoda.
He's got a mono, but
He's
he's
got a little baby with the baby telescope.
He just masturbated the maternal instinct, and it's a well-studied effect. Even Valve, when they were doing VR research, experimented with taking objects, making them really big, and shrinking them to be tiny. and the smaller ones always had an increased emotional impact on people. Even in the animal kingdom, you can see animals react to little tiny babies, even if they're cross-species. There's some kind of biological instinct that most people have to like small things to protect them. Doesn't even matter whether they're cross-species, because it will grow up to something that you can eat. The problem is, like master anything, it's not satisfying in the long term. It can get boring. There's no substance or satisfaction like the real thing.
People aren't going to forget that time that Lizzo got hooked up Jack Black and Christopher Lloyd was sipping all over her. Oh no. I think I know what you're talking about. Wasn't that what was that? Well, come on. How do I forget that one? Andor? Was that Andor meta? I think that was Andor, wasn't it? You know what's also funny, guys? Imagine this though. Imagine when women tell you that Lizzo's the most beautiful woman ever, right? And then when you go ahead and tell them, "Oh, you look like Lizzo," suddenly they get angry with you and says, "What are you trying to say?"
As such, the emotional manipulation is just like Pavlov's dog, where the scientist would ring a bell at the same time he gave him food, to the point where the dog would start drooling whenever he...
Nah, Andor may be Disney, but it wouldn't stoop that low. That was totally Mandalorian. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, did he step down? Was it? Yeah, for Bo, right? I really don't remember because it was like when was season 3 again? Like 2 years ago. I don't even remember because I kind of just gave up on that because I just couldn't watch it. It was just that bad. You know what's funny, guys? I remember with a certain person I refuse to name, was watching the Kenobi show, and when they asked for my honest thoughts, and I mean my honest thoughts, that's before I actually went full, before I went full, right wing. Well, I wouldn't say I'm more like a full right wing. I mean, I'm my own type of right wing. Anyway, I said that it was the most awful show ever. It's egregious. And the fact that what they made, right, was just terrible. Especially my biggest gripe with the Kenobi show was the fact that it didn't even respect most of the plots that were already established in Star Wars. Like, what was the issue? Oh. Yeah, I knew it. Bo did got the dark saber by a technicality. I knew it. Bo became the main character, right? Anyway, trying to gather my thoughts on this one, but the Grand Inquisitor. What's that girl's name? trying to remember the girl that slashed the Grand Inquisitors. Damn, what was his name? Hang on. Oh yeah, there we go, Reva. The the Grand Inquisitor was slashed by Reva, and well, no, stabbed actually, more accurate, and somehow, yeah, basically, um, he survived that, and the reason he survived, well, apparently he's saying, uh, his uh, his anger and hatred is quite quite the power he needed. But no, Grievous. But no, I don't think that was good. That's good plot right there, especially since Darth Vader later on does the same to Reva and stabs her, and yet somehow, normally, traditionally, we've seen lightsabers kill people, and when they get stabbed. I mean, you guys remember that scene in Star Wars: The Clone Wars where that crazy Mandalorian terrorist says which one will brand themselves a cold-hearted killer, and between Obi-Wan and Duchess Satine, with Anakin stabbing him in the back, quite literally. That guy died. Anyway, Reva and the Grand Inquisitor being stabbed and then shrugging it off like it was nothing really annoys me, considering that that technique should have been something that only true Sith Lords should be able to do, or at the very least, anyone trained in the ways of the Sith, like Darth Maul. Which that's why I'm willing to give Darth Maul the pass. Normally, he should have been dead. I mean, he literally got cut in half. Yes, you're right about that one, Meta. I mean, come on, that was a base move. I mean, come on, he was gonna blow up the ship. True. You're right, Meta. That's another thing that the Kenobi show does dirty, and it really does Darth Vader dirty, is that it makes him look like an incompetent idiot. Because he cannot somehow kill the same person twice, which was Reva, and for some reason he lets go of a bunch of rebels to go after Obi-Wan, which I kind of get, but I just think that was not a good call. To be fair, they did in the comics. They did say that his obsession with Jedi hunting did cloud his judgment, especially when he made poor decisions when it came to how to deal with the Empire's assets and governance. Anyway, let's move on. Sorry to ramble about this, guys. Just you know, Star Wars nerd here that's just passionate about this.
Rang the bell. The problem is, if it keeps ringing.
Remember how Darth Vader gets a fake badass moment where he stops a rebel ship with the Force, but it fails because that was just a decoy? Yeah, I remember that. Frickin' I don't know what were they thinking.
The bell while not providing any food, the dog will starve to death while drooling over the imaginary food. That's the issue with Baby Yoda. It may work the first time, maybe the second, but experience a steady drop-off.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is base for...
As their bodies go, maybe you should just have kids of your own. And with Baby Yoda, it'd be difficult to evolve him into something of substance, because he'd have to leave behind.
You know, guys, I already like this Despera guy already. He makes a good base point. I think people should have babies of their own. I know, it's quite revolutionary. And yes, Noble, let us bash the Mandalorian movie.
Being Baby Yoda. He can't talk, so there's no plot or social interaction.
Impressive.
He's 67, can't talk and acts like a kid, so he's clearly retarded. And both of these things means you get no character development.
Yes, guys. Baby Yoda's clearly
or contribution to the plot. Just kind of tags along. And because it is just a manipulation and exploitation of instinct, Baby Yoda is no more a story point or character development than staring at Sydney Sweeney's tits as a marriage. Yeah, sure, they'll both get an instinctual reaction, but they don't have an...
Guys, remember, Sydney Sweeney has good genes. I'm terrible.
Depth. Well, except Sydney Sweeney's they have a lot of depth between them, don't they? Anyway, when you make any movie, the thing at the forefront of your mind should be the target audience.
I like this
you
guy
have to know
already.
this because they inform what you create. You have to know what they like, what they want, what they're motivated by.
Yeah, you can always adopt, dude. There are plenty of kids that need a good, loving home. What was annoying about Book of Boba Fett is that it felt like The Mandalorian was taking over most of it. I don't know why that had to be a thing. I mean, we all know Mandalorian was going to get another season. Why couldn't they put that in there? I don't even know what the Star Wars rating team was going on about that one.
What their morality is, so that you can reflect that in the thing that you're making. If you're making a male show, it'd be far more focused on men doing actions and deeds, heroic things, solving problems, saving people. Where if you're making a female show, it'd be far more focused on the social interactions, talking things out. Everyone's equal and the same, and we should all come to some kind of diplomatic resolution to things. It's less about the...
And this is why most people watch anime instead of Western shows these days. You know what's sad? Really, most animes we've watched, we never have to see this with female characters, and no and Noel can vouch for this. One of the best female characters of all time in anime, Urza Scarlet, would not act like whatever this is. Right, Noel?
physically solving the problem, and more the social journey that we took to discuss it along the way. The feelings we talked about in hallways as we walked there.
Pants!
The issue is I cut up the trailer just to make it easier to grab clips from, and this has only been done in rough. It's not exact by any means, but the bottom layer is generic neutral clips. The second layer is clips where Baby Yoda is the main character, and the third layer is clips where the Mandalorian is. Also, as you can see, this is the action piece. I only put it in his section because he caused it in explosions, which is definitely male entertainment. So if you just want Mandalorian doing stuff, well, you're left with that. This is a very Grogu-focused trailer, and trailers are simply condensed versions of the movie to tell people what they should expect. If anything, from the trailer, it makes it look like this should be called...
Ironically, the man whose main character status as aforementioned. Like how he stole the spotlight from Boba Fett. Both also had a strong, capable woman taking over as enforcers. True. That is also true, Noble. It sucks that Urza's English VA is very much a LARPing feminist. I saw that video. In fact, I think it was you who showed me that video, if I'm not mistaken.
Grogu and the Mandalorian, which is a massive problem, because the instincts that Baby Yoda seeks to exploit only exist in half the population, and it's not the demographic that would watch a Star Wars movie. Women evolved the instinct to like random other people's babies, because the men would go out and hunt, they'd take on dangerous things, and so back in time, all the women were getting help from each other, they'd help raising other people's kids, and so obviously an instinct evolved from people that wanted to help raise other people's kids. It's also an evolutionary reinforcement that if you see someone else's baby and you like it, you're more likely to have your own. Men, though, were never part of this raising. They were out hunting, fighting, guarding the town. They didn't need to evolve that instinct to protect other people's kids, because they were already protecting the town and the tribe from their enemies. They had to protect the village because it's where their family lived. And that was enough. So while Baby Yoda is a great psychological device to get people into the cinema, to get them to buy merch, it only works on a small niche of people that are interested in Star Wars. And sure, they may like Baby Yoda because he's small, weak, vulnerable, innocent, and needs protection. But the thing is, we already had people in movies that were small, weak, vulnerable, innocent, and needed protection. We called them women, preferably hot women.
I mean, where's the lie? That was actually men's point of existence. That was to protect fragile, weak women. And yeah, until feminists ruin it and be like, oh, we want to be as equal to men. And by equal, I mean we want to be seen as better than men, and men suck. Frickin' a-holes. I would say that Aki Hinata's having a feminist BA is disappointing, but I never cared for the dub anyway. True, true. I mean, that doesn't stop Noble from loving Urza. Urza's great. And so that shouldn't stop you from liking Aki Hinata either, Meta. I totally agree with you. Besides, the Japanese audio is way better anyway. I'm thinking of Jawas rather than women. Those things are cute, even if they are shopping thieves. No, Meta. No. Jawas are when you see a sandcrawler in your neighborhood, prepare for real estate prices to dip immediately. That's what they are. Edward Elric single-handedly ended the English dubbing scene. I mean, would it be really him that ended it, or would it be those fricks that ended it? And you know who I'm talking about. You know what's sad? That the fact that some of I think Monica Reels, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I think it was Monica Reels, is actually a VTuber. I think it sucks. No, wait. I might be wrong. It might be not Monica, but who? I saw someone. Well, I can't think off the top of my head. Most most Funimation VAs lost relevancy after their smear campaign failed. I think when it comes to publicly, yeah, I think I have to agree with you. But within the English dub, those who like apparently love and will defend English dub as superior to the original, they have like quite the grip on those idiots.
You stay here.
While I go have a word with the guys in the tunnel. Actually, I'm just gonna go shoot them. I'll be right back.
And when they were in movies, they appealed to everybody. The men would want to protect and provide them, do great deeds, grand things in movies, all so they could win them at the end. And the women could project themselves onto them, put themselves into the position of the movie as if they're next to the man doing the great deeds to protect them. And then they get with him at the end of the movie. And while this still plays on a core instinct that humans have, it also has substance because it teaches you what you should do in your life so that you can get what he had in the movies. That if you stand up, build, focus on self-improvement, then you can be a great man doing great deeds, and the women can get the great men. Unlike Baby Yoda, this one actually has substance to it because it's improving people's lives. Because everyone knows at their core that this is true, wants to believe that it's true. That it's a lesson, a story trope, that has been so true for humanity for so long that it's been passed down since time immemorial through previous stories. You can go back and look at stories about the Norse gods. It's still there. The question then becomes, why does Hollywood not do this? Because it's so obviously the correct path to go down. And I think when it comes down to it, it's because men like it. Because it appeals to men. Because it's focused in masculine values. They can't do the embarrassing, put down, crap.
You know, despite the fact that Tom Cruise is still a filthy Scientologist, he does make better movies than most people in Hollywood these days. Especially since either they're a woke loser or they are egotistical maniacs like The Rock, who make god awful movies just based on his ego. It's either I take it soul.
On men that they like to make, because those aren't the kind of men that people want to get with. This led them to search for other things that would appeal to them, and because Hollywood is very effeminate, it came up with an effeminate reason. Baby Yoda. The problem that they have, though, is that effeminate reasons only appeal to that demographic, whereas masculine values appeal to everybody. If you make movies and content and games for blokes, it appeals to the world. Whereas if you make rom-coms and 50 Shades of Grey, it appeals to half of it. What Hollywood discovered was that by cutting out men, you destroy everything. And I'm sure all the people that are focused on equality think everyone's the same and there aren't any differences between groups will be like, well, if you cut all the way... It's like, no, Lord of the Rings. That is a very masculine movie focused on hierarchy.
Yes, that's true, Meta. He was in a bunch of comedy movies and was definitely in the movie Tooth Fairy. The thing is, with The Rock, that was actually the best he can get at the time when he was first breaking into the movie industry. But when he got his big break in the Fast and the Furious, that's when his ego started getting the best of him. And it definitely showed when he was returning to WWE back in 2012 to face off John Cena. And John Cena ripped him a new one, saying that he only came back to the business not for the sake of wrestling, but just to promote his latest movies. Man, Cena made The Rock look like a dumbass. How times have changed. And yeah, so when The Rock made it big in Hollywood after, all those lame comedy movies he's done and did well with the Fast and Furious franchise, he started having this ego trip. Like, I'm pretty sure you heard this where he has a contract where in any movie he stars in, his character cannot lose, which I think is just ridiculous. I mean, if that's not a self-insert, I don't know what it is. Maybe I shouldn't be talking since my persona is the Emperor, and people assume that I am I cannot lose type of deal. But hey, the difference is I don't mind looking ridiculous. When it happens, as long as it's all natural and it's all good fun. Or when I make a story where the plot demands it. The hierarchy of power in the Star Wars universe is about to change. How so, Meta? Wait, no, sorry. Noble. How so, Noble? Was Steven Seagal more worse than The Rock about that?
Hierarchical male values, and all the women talking to them can be summed up as this.
Where is Mama?
The new Bearskin Hoodie 4.0 claims to be the most advanced, waterproof tactical hoodie.
You could very easily have made a Mandalorian and Grogu movie by inversing the focus of what you're thinking about. So the Mandalorian would be the core part of the movie. Baby Grogu would be something that he had around. It would be something...
No. Why are you killing me inside? Do you enjoy my pain and suffering? There is no way The Rock's gonna save Star Wars. In fact, he might as well call it Rock Wars or something. Oh, God. Just imagining that. He's gonna be frickin'... He's gonna be like some kind of... I can say right now. The Rock's gonna be... Rock Windu. There we go. And apparently he has a legendary purple, red, and blue triple lightsaber, where apparently he's both a Jedi and Sith at the same time, which makes so much sense. Exactly. I know what you mean. I know you're just ribbing me, Noble. Oh man, when he did Black Adam, it was like, yeah, we all saw why this movie was gonna be garbage. He did not respect the source material, and he thought he could turn Black Adam into a hero. Like, really? Do you not? I don't expect you to even know comics. At least, I know you probably might not have the same like for Cena, but I'll give Cena credit. At least he could. He's willing to only do roles where, if he likes it, and he won't do a role that he's not feeling up to it. Unlike The Rock, where he'll just, if he doesn't like it, he'll, instead of just turning it down, he will just muddy it up and then turn it into a way where it just benefits him. True. Samuel Jackson was the only one to be allowed ego in Star Wars.
That he was looking after as a sort of a father-son bond. But you would focus on Mandalorian living his life, doing great deeds, protecting people. Or not, as he's a bounty hunter. Him saving people while he's a bounty hunter. And then he gets the girl at the end. So you have the father-son relationship and the sort of surrogate mother who joins. And she wants to be with him because he's a great guy. At no point in this story does Baby Yoda actually matter. It would be about the Mandalorian being amazing, Baby Yoda looking up to him, but you don't do any, oh, it's a baby hijinks stuff, because that doesn't appeal to your target audience. In fact, it puts them off, as most of the audience for Baby Yoda would prefer to see this happen on the big screen.
No! Why? Wow, that... No!
Yes. No! You can even see the gender divide.
Noble, if someone were to give you a Baby Yoda toy, would you rip it in half like that? Sounds like a yes.
In that video, there's cheering and there's tears, and everyone could have predicted who would have done what before the video even played. When you write stories, they will be pitched at a certain level of moral development, and you always want to base them on principle. The reason for this being it's the complexity of the story, and if you base it in principle, you satisfy everyone beneath it in the pyramid. The issue is if you pitch it at the good boy attitude, that being interpersonal accord and conformity, meeting social expectations. For example, a teenager agrees to volunteer because friends view volunteering positively, otherwise known as virtue signaling. You get your morality from everyone else around you. Pretty much all of Hollywood is based on social conformity. That's why they go to award ceremonies and are willing to spend $20,000 of their own money just so that they can repeat the same slogans that they think everyone else in the room believes.
I just want to say
finally, go Birds, and free Palestine. Thank you.
Please, someone, Wepa. I'm so tired. I'm tired of hearing that. This is freaking America. We don't care for the Middle East, I will say. I'm trying to keep this as nice as possible. If this was like Rumble or Kick, I might have to say something really, really nasty right there.
I do think that begs the question that if what you believe just comes from everyone else around you, what is the difference between you and AI actors? I mean, to be honest, there seems to be a lot of advantages with you.
Let's see, what's different between the real actors versus AI actors? AI actors are programmed to not be a pain in the ass. There you go.
Using them, to be honest. A lot of advantages. She's never going to complain or falsely accuse her bosses to get a promotion. Baby.
Sounds about right. That's why I'm glad I have my own AI bot. Her name is Jen. She'll do whatever the hell I say. But once I get her up and running, the frick.
Baby Yoda being based purely on biological instinct, it's probably below good boy attitude into self-interest. It makes me feel good, therefore I like it. And so it's just not satisfying for everyone else, especially if you don't have that biological instinct. And this shows in reaction to the trailer. Fans are divided. Doesn't look like a movie. It's Gen Alpha Ewok Adventures, aimed squarely at 5 to 12-year-olds, which is $1 billion market. I think this is just a side effect of everyone recognizing it's really simple and basic. So it's just assumed it's for kids. Why is the first Star Wars film back in theaters this? Rise of Skywalker was a total flop, but it at least looks like a movie. It shows how Disney have cheapened their brand, so that the first Star Wars movie in 7 years just looks like an expensive episode of TV. I loved all 3 seasons of The Mandalorian, but it doesn't look like a movie. And even places like Screen Rant realized there was something wrong. Despite how much they normally want to shill, it was like, well, the trailer wasn't really much of a surprise. I thought being overly familiar with it was the reason the trailer didn't land for me. I slept on it, but gradually began to understand. The core problem is that something is missing. The trailer lacks any sense of emotion, of feeling. What is there in there to make you care about the characters, get invested in their journeys? How's the apprenticeship going? What are the internal character-driven struggles that the duo face? All the trailer is Grogu making some cute noises and using the Force a little. It doesn't treat either of their stars as characters. Rather, they are set pieces and silhouettes. Everyone is recognizing there's something missing. It's just not complex enough. It's just...
Oh, wow. I wonder what it could be missing, guys. Surely it's not like actual fans who love Star Wars filling in the heart and soul of Star Wars. Or surely it's not the fact that they made Star Wars all gagey with feminist propaganda and all that crap. Trailer looks cheap as dirt. Oh my god, I wish we could say whatever we want if YouTube wasn't so bulky. The shills wanted the trailers to engage in some key jingling. Yes, it's all about the key jingling. The power of many.
Too basic down at the bottom of the pyramid. Struggles, challenges, turning into an actual person and understanding why they do something. Finding out that, okay, I have this moral principle. But what are the exceptions to that? When should I break it? That's where things like Star Trek stories come into being, which leave impressions on the audience for decades.
There are 4 lights!
But more than that, I believe that I could see 5 lights.
Whereas all Mandalorian and Grogu have is this.
Good shot, baby.
I wasn't expecting the first trailer to give away the plot, but it should give you a reason to become invested on a visceral, emotional level. If you're already invested, you'll love it. But if you're just curious, But if you're already invested, there's only one reason you would be.
Kill it.
My expectations and excitement are nowhere near as high as they should be, and that's because this trailer just hasn't quite worked.
Yeah, apparently Grogu can talk, or whatever. I don't even know anymore.
Even with interviews from the creators, you get, I have loved telling stories in the rich world that George Lucas created. Favreau told Deadline, the prospect of bringing the Mandalorian and his apprentice Grogu to the big screen is extremely exciting. There's not much to go on there. No because while other people would go, I can't wait to explore this. I can't wait for them to do that. I can't wait for when he has to struggle with this thing a part of his life. Instead, it was, I just want them on the screen. They're nothing more than a character, a doll, an action figure to put in a scene. That's as deep as it goes. I think it's one of the reasons we get so many cameos and things. It's just like, oh, you like so-and-so, we put so-and-so here. Does he enhance anything, bring anything? Does he shine a light on any specific aspect or principle? No, we brought action figure in, you like action figure. Everything is just so basic. That's probably not too surprising with Mandalorian Grogu, where it is literally just, oh, look, he's a tiny baby, isn't that cute? That's his only appeal, because he doesn't talk and do anything. Well, except occasionally wipe out an entire species by eating a mother's babies in front of her. I forgot about that bit. He's not just a baby, he's an evil baby. And everyone seems to understand that this is the case. The movie risks forgetting what made The Mandalorian great. I hope they don't say it's Pedro, who will be in the movie. The goal of the movie won't just be to convert Disney Plus viewers to theater goers. It will also be to appeal to people who've heard about Baby Yoda, bought the cute merch, but who've never watched the show or even considered a subscription. Welcome to your target demographic. The people that...
I have no idea what goes on in Disney's heads. Sometimes I just wonder they are just dumb as hell for the sake of the game instead of just dumb as hell because they are at that point where they think this is what will draw money, but in reality it just makes people largely want to avoid them like the plague they are.
Don't even watch your stuff. They just bought Baby Yoda because he looked cute. It's amazing the amount of articles that were written about this trailer that were all like, yeah, I do feel as if there's something missing. Some kind of depth missing. But I think with Hollywood's current hiring practices and prioritizing of inclusion, it was inevitable. If you can only write at the level of lower foundations, you are always going to be more instinctual and rely on more basic manipulation. This attracts audiences who are at the same level of moral development, and that includes people of the social consensus. This has a habit of biting you in the ass, as everyone just eats themselves over who can virtue signal the most, so that your trailer releases to fans of just slamming Disney over Jimmy Kimmel. Two entirely unrelated products, but it doesn't matter, because I still have to show my anger at you to prove that I'm morally superior. Mandalorian and Grogu could obviously be a good movie. It's all set up correctly with a bounty hunter that goes around the universe, bounty hunting. I think it's probably harder to mess that up than not, but some people are surprised that you can still predict the outcome of a movie before it's released. It's like, yeah, because it was inevitable. People down on this end of the scale cannot write up here. It's impossible. And the moment you see Baby Grogu taking center stage, you know where their priorities lie, and you know who they're targeting. It's the same as in James Bond, when the women started to turn him down, and he started to cry. The target market changes, and then the content of the movie goes right along with it. Disney could absolutely turn their franchises around, but they're going to have to hire a better class of writer. Although, unfortunately for Disney, these people would all piss off Hollywood, as it would definitionally mean disagreeing with the social consensus, which Hollywood has carefully constructed over years. This is why foreign movies are still of such higher quality than things like Mandalorian and Grogu. Because Hollywood's problem, it's not accidental, it was an intentional course they went down. It's perfectly possible to write good stories, even if you get your morality from everyone around you. It just means that everyone around you has to agree with the audience. And Hollywood decided to go head to head with their audience, treat them as the enemy, as the outsider, as evil long ago. And that became obvious the moment that they thought it was their duty to insult them.
Some of the fan base just sickened me to my stomach. You're no Star Wars fan in my mind.
But they're just my thoughts. What are your...
When he said that, it made me very upset and sad. But now I just don't feel anything for him. It's like how I feel about Mark Hamill when he went a full dumbass. Disney cannot even manage their own properties anymore. For example, Tron. I really did like the first episode of Mandalorian in particular because it was made think that Din Djarin of Samus. Sorry, Din Djarin could actually become a Star Wars version of Samus Aran. Also, that IG-11 was so cool. That blue alien milk Sarah Hamill's brain. Yes, it did. Whatever was brains that guy had left, man, they were probably long gone.
Let me know down in the comments below, like the video if you like the video, subscribe more videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Let's cover 10 pro...
Wow, Meta, I gotta admit, this guy was pretty entertaining. I like him. Giving him a clap. Time for Grizzy. Yes. Yes, sir. Time for some Grizzy. I'm guessing it's this guy. Let's see. So what video should we watch today? Oh, Mr. Grizzy. I am so sorry. Frick. Sorry, I never heard of him until now, so I was just like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Is it this guy? Oh, so it's this one, eh? Alright, cool. Let's see what he has. So what are you guys in the mood for? His latest video on Grace Randolph demands Amazon Tomb Raider. Wait, what the frick? That could be interesting. Soups is a paid shill and fraud who completely sells out for. Delusional MCU shills desperately trying to get fans. Star Wars sex play lanes friends wear and whine about toxic Star Wars. Oh boy. This is gonna be fun. I want to start with the first one.
I think the only reason that Phoebe Waller-Bridge isn't playing the role is that she is aged out of it. So anyway, but I have to say, I think Phoebe Waller-Bridge would have been pretty good.
Smack that dumb bitch!
You know, there's something I've begun to notice recently about Grace Randolph, and that is that she demands every IP, whether it be a movie,
I mean, guys, is this really effed up to say that? I think people like that need to get smacked. Because if they actually recognize their stupidity has consequences, maybe they'll be cured of their stupidity. Am I on the ball?
A TV show, or in this case, a video game adaptation, despite not being a gamer herself.
I'm not a gamer. I don't understand the
And another reason why people say we should gatekeep the hell out of our games, to keep people like that away from them.
gaming community.
Every single one of these IPs needs to make a serious effort to include her demographic, which is crazy feminists, I guess, and other demographics that she supports.
If this show is going to succeed,
I love Grindr. Oh my god. Wepa. Please. So tired.
with this take on Lara Croft, it must have the female and LGBTQ audience excited about it. You got to get the girls and the gays. All right, so the other thing I want to talk about is that it's very clear that this is...
Gotta get the girls and the gays. Alright. A certain smug fox said this. That Lara Croft should be an attractive woman because girls would love to cosplay as an attractive woman. I'm pretty sure if she went all butch on us, yeah, I don't see lots of girls gonna want to cosplay that. They trying to make Sophie Turner happen. Oof. Oh boy.
Is the female gaze, right? So we always talk about the male gaze. Everybody always hears that differently. G-A-Z.
The female gaze is a perspective in art and media that centers on women's viewpoints, experiences, and agency, offering an alternative to the objectify male gaze by portraying subjects, often women, with depth, emotion, and interiority rather than the sexualized objects. Coined in response to. So basically, the female gaze is just bullshits with extra steps.
Z-E, as I've written there. And there's a lot of talk about the male gaze and how that's applied to characters.
Translation, the show needs to cater to women, feminists, and the alphabet people, which I'm sure Phoebe Waller-Bridge will deliver on.
Well, I wouldn't even say it's just the female gaze. I would also say there's the LGBTQ gaze.
And not giving men, toxic men, what they want and what they want to look at.
I think some men will find it hot, but I think some men will say, I saw some people tweeting it was a downgrade, and I was like, so predictable.
I hate men.
I don't think Phoebe Waller...
You know, guys, I really don't hate women. I really don't. However, I really do not like feminists, though. They just ruin women. And they just make them undateable.
Bridge hates men, Adam's fear, but I do think it comes across that way.
Nah, Grace, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is one of these activist feminist directors, you know, like Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy and Leslie Headland. And you know, sometimes you can tell just by simply looking at a bitch that she hates men.
No one can deny, particularly after the success of Heated Rivalry, that this is an audience that can get shows a lot of attention.
Heated Rivalry. So for those of you who don't know what that show is, fucking brace yourselves.
So I think that a lot of producers and executives these days are going to go, maybe I can get that audience. And I think that it would be very clever to try and get the Heated Rivalry audience to be interested in this show.
All right, so for those of you who don't know, Heated Rivalry is HBO Max's horny hockey drama, which is a playful gay romance for grown-ups.
What the fuck is this?
About a pair of rising hockey stars who fall into a steamy gay affair.
You gotta be shitting me.
Fans of that show, that audience, is who Grace Randolph believes a Tomb Raider series needs to target.
This audience has finally arrived. You know, I think we've known about your power for a while now, but I think Hollywood is finally starting to wake up and understand it.
Wow, you were one crazy bitch.
I don't know, Grace. I kind of think it would probably be a better idea to target people who, you know, played and liked the video games over people who like the gay hockey sex drama. And maybe play some video games yourself, Grace. Trust me, you'll sound a lot less stupid when you talk about them if you do.
Oh, there's Kratos. I don't know anything about Kratos, but I'm excited to learn. Oh, it's Kratos?
Dumb cunt. God, even her own fans are ripping on her for how bad she is at covering video games.
That I'm like, you know, maybe video games aren't for me, man.
Anyway, Amazon Prime's Tomb Raider series starring Sophie Turner as Lara Croft being run by activist feminist showrunner Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I think I speak for most people when I say I have concerns.
I can guarantee you that if Phoebe Waller-Bridge is making this show, it's going to be feminist and very quote-unquote woke. So we'll see how the toxic channels, if they, you know, hopefully it's too good to kill.
That laugh just says it all.
All right, challenge accepted, Grace. I might actually have to cover this. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.
Good video. I enjoyed it. Alright guys, I think I have time for one more, and I'll head to bed. So what do you guys want to watch next? Race is probably still better with video games than TSP. You're probably right. I think he might be better at video games than most. So, what are you guys in the mood to watch? Soups is a painful shield. Let's see. So, what are you guys in the mood for? Still waiting? Okay, no problem. I'll hold on. That my digestive tract? Oh, you mean me sniffing? Yeah, I'm sorry. I got a cold. I'm from planet Earth. I think I'm coming down with the cold. Thanks, bud. Yeah, it's nothing that's major. I'll get over it. I sound like Jim Carrey's Grinch. Nice. You're a mean one, Mr. Joel. Sucks that Christmas is over. Oh well. Yeah, thanks, Noble. Appreciate that, guys. Let's see. I see one video I like, but I'd rather be taking requests from you guys. What to watch next. But I'm gonna just watch one more, and then I'm just gonna call it a night. Oh wait. Just remember something hilarious. Then, hang on. Dang, what I wanna show you guys real quick is not here. Freaking YouTube costs. Oh well, whatever. Ironheart shows in Paris. Sells by completely selling out for the series finale. Grace Randolph really dislike Brie Larson for no reason. Really? I don't mind Phileas. Phileas is a pretty funny guy. I like his content, but I think I'll save it for next stream. This Mr. Grizzly guy's got some funny content, so I think I might save more of this for next time too. All right, I've seen Critical Drinker Nerdrotics, but I've never seen Despot, so we'll try him. Antrim. Despot of Antrim. The worst movies of 2025. Can we watch this one? Oh, wait. 2 hours? Damn. I think I have to put a pin on that one. 2 hours. Yeah. Yeah. We'll do a shorter video. Because I would love to watch this video with you guys, but it's like, ooh, 2 hours. It's like, for me, it's like 3:30. We can watch it on Oscar night. You know what? I agree with you, Noble. We'll watch that on Oscar night then. Well, screw the Oscars. We already got our own. Oh my God, why aren't men approaching women? That was so terrible. Don't ever let me do that again. Weekend at Palpatine's. Joker 2. Did I skip the Joker 2 video? Because if he has a Joker 2 video, I kind of want to watch that. The Empire during... Oh, help me, Lord. I think I skipped it then. The Joker's bank heist plan is terrible. I'm guessing this is a video.
FanDuel Casino's exclusive game Huff and Puff Money Mansion is packed with thrills, like Mega Hats bringing Mega Mayhem, and maybe even a visit from you-know-who. New players get 500 bonus spins, plus up to $1,000 back in casino bonus.
My real passion is...
That's alright, dude.
What the hell is this?
Alright, team. We need a successful follow-up to our billion-dollar R-rated supervillain origin story, Joker. Go.
Let's give the sequel a foreign language title the vast majority of the target audience can't pronounce.
Good start. What else?
Make the movie a jukebox musical.
Fantastic.
And the songs should all be poorly arranged, badly produced, geriatric cocktail lounge cliches.
I love it. What else?
The movie should have no plot.
Genius!
Expend 90% of the dialogue on discussing the events of the previous movie.
Yes, please.
And make the movie the most mind-numbingly boring trash ever to brutalize the occupants of a movie theater.
Yes! Now, the ending.
Joker dies.
Who kills him?
Some guy, I guess.
Perfect. Now, we need a scene that echoes in the mind of the viewer, a cinematic triumph that anchors the film in the history of the silver screen, a set-piece spectacular that gets the fans to buy that second ticket just so they can rewatch it. Something incredible. Something iconic.
How about a scene where Joker fucks Harley in a dank cell, then comes in her after 9 seconds?
That's it!
Oh,
Great job,
Lord,
team. You're
why?
all promoted. So, a musical in which nothing happens for 2 hours, then he dies. $200 million ought to cover it. Now let's get this thing made, then sit back, light up a cigar, and watch the money print itself. Joker Folie à Deux despises its audience. It hates the fans of the first movie and wants to punish them for sympathizing with Arthur Fleck because you're not supposed to sympathize with, talk about, or really even acknowledge lonely men with mental health problems languishing in pain at the bottom of an indifferent society. Joker 2 punishes the fans of the first movie by making them languish in pain throughout its 2.25-hour runtime. Fortunately, many of Joker 2's intended victims avoided the agony Todd Phillips had planned for them by simply walking out of the movie, and the vast majority escaped it entirely by not seeing the movie. Joker 2 is one of the biggest box office bombs of all time. Good. Warner deserve nothing but failure for a plan that amounted to the following.
Joker fans, we have made a sequel for you. A musical consisting of tedious courtroom drama and recycled elevator music.
But I don't like tedious courtroom drama and recycled elevator music.
Well, you fucking will do now, slag. Right? I said right.
Before we get into our post-mortem on
Right.
Joker 2,
I said
a
right.
brief announcement. I recently passed 100,000 subscribers on this channel. I want to take a moment to say to everyone who has subbed, watched, commented, liked, and
get
shared the
ahead.
videos. Fuck you! What, you thought this video was going to be about how bad Joker 2 was? Well, you're wrong. This is a video about how bad you are. The sole reason I made this video is to let you know what an asshole you are for liking my previous videos. Also, I'm going to be stopping this video every few minutes to sing a song about my feelings, because I feel like a lot of you have been wanting that from me, even though no one has actually asked for it. I feel like what's missing from my videos is a song sung so badly. It makes
Yeah.
me feel so
I need to start
sadly.
singing,
Having
guys.
given it some
I need
thought,
to
I have
sing.
decided that Joker 2 is the
Acapella.
worst movie of 2024. Joker 2
I
has
hear
been
the
universally
voices
panned.
in my
Everyone
head.
hates this
They
movie.
talk to
Here is a
me,
poll
they
from a
tell
YouTuber I
me
follow
that
called
I must-
Jesterbill, asking her subscribers what the worst
because
movie of 2024 is. With over 3,000 votes cast, Joker 2 won with 39% of the vote, beating The Crow, Borderlands, Madam Web, and Argyle. But I think people still don't realize just how bad Joker 2 is. I don't care if this take gets me cancelled. I don't care if I lose subscribers over this. I'm coming out and saying it because it needs to be said. Joker 2 is overrated. I have seen guarded praise for 5 aspects of this film. Joaquin Phoenix's performance, Brendan Gleeson's performance, the Mr. Puddle's courtroom scene, the music, and the cinematography. Now, 2 of those are correct. The cinematography and Brendan Gleeson's performance are indeed excellent, but the other 3 are not. There will be a dedicated music section later in the video in which I will dispel any notion that the music in this trash isn't fucking awful. That section will address Joaquin Phoenix's so-called singing, which is so bad that it significantly degrades his overall performance. For now, let's look at what I have heard described as the best scene in the movie by most reviewers who have suffered through Joker 2. The Mr. Puddle's courtroom scene. In the scene, Mr. Puddles, a former colleague of Arthur who witnessed Arthur murder Randall, is being cross-examined by Arthur about the murder. The scene has been called emotionally powerful and the only compelling courtroom scene. It is neither. It's boring and pointless. Like the rest of the movie, the scene relitigates the events the viewer has already seen in the first movie, or presents information the viewer doesn't need or want to know. After spending several minutes reminding us of what we already saw, Mr. Puddles transmits information we didn't need to know, what happened to him off screen after the murder. Then he reveals that he has been traumatized from witnessing Randall's murder. Pointless information we don't need because we're not morons. We can deduce from the brutality of Arthur's actions in the first movie and Mr. Puddles' reaction to it that this was indeed a traumatic event for him. The Mr. Puddles and Arthur cross-examination is, like the rest of this atrocious mess, a complete waste of time, and an ass-dragging waste of time at that. In the first Joker movie, Arthur's murder of Randall and Mr. Puddle's reaction to it takes 30 seconds. Joker 2 spends 8 minutes describing those 30 seconds. The Mr. Puddle's courtroom scene is one of the best scenes in Joker 2, and it's fucking abysmal. It's like a puddle of piss surrounded by feces. The slight silver gleam emanating from this trash scene comes from Joaquin Phoenix and Lee Gill's great chemistry and Lee Gill's excellent performance. I look forward to seeing him in other productions and to not seeing him in Joker Folia 3. While we're on the topic, the best scene in Joker 2 by far is one in which Brendan Gleeson tells a joke about a dead dog and a priest. The scene is great because it's a great joke and Brendan Gleeson delivers it brilliantly. I can't not tell the joke now that I've cock-teased my viewers, so here it goes. When Paddy's dog died, he took it to the local Catholic church. Seeing the priest, he asked, "Father Breen, is there any chance you could do a funeral service for my wee dog Joey? He died this morning." "Now, Paddy, we can't do services for animals. Sure, why don't you bring it to the vet up the road? They can probably give it a wee funeral." "All right, thanks, Father. Do you think $5,000 would be enough for them to do the funeral?" "Paddy, why didn't you say the dog was Catholic?" My magnanimous viewers will forgive my own modest attempt at a rendition of the piece, which pales in comparison to Gleeson's superb delivery. The best part of Joker 2 is an old Irish joke that Todd Phillips copied and pasted into the script from whatever website he found it on. If the movie had just been an hour and a half of Brendan Gleeson telling Irish jokes while occasionally abusing prisoners, that would have been far better than the shite we ended up with.
Spinning on Fanatics Casino, explained by Patrick Schwarzenegger, while also spinning.
Only Fanatics Casino has Fan Cash Spins, a game that lets you spin for free every day.
New customers deposit and wager $10, get 1,000 free spins on Cops and Robbers Bigger Big Money over 5 days. Fanatics Casino, America's fastest growing online casino.
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words.
There we go.
Boggs, what did the Irishman say to the Englishman?
What?
That sounds about right. Oh!
A word I have heard a lot to describe Joker 2 is empty. This is because the movie contains no plot, no characters, no dramatic development, and no legitimate reason to exist. The plot is that there is no plot. Arthur is pulled by the script back and forth endlessly between Arkham and the court. There's some crap song covers. We get the iconic sex scene where Arthur fucks Lady Gaga, putting in a performance so depressing that it makes his stand-up routine from the first movie appear a work of genius by comparison. A dark foreshadowing of the anti-climax to come when Arthur bitches out in court, rejects the Joker identity, and begs to be allowed to suck the DA's cock in a public display of contrition. He even promises to swallow in exchange for a last meal consisting of the mayor's shit. If only this movie had climaxed as fast as Arthur in that iconic scene, I could have spent the time I wasted watching Joker 2 wanking off to the memory of that steamy hot sex scene in which a middle-aged pop star gets fucked by an underweight Joaquin Phoenix in a dank, pissy cell. Then the movie gets bored of itself and blows up the courtroom, and then he died. The end. And in what I can't even call a half-assed attempt, in a tithe-assed attempt to infuse something resembling meaning into this garbage ending, some guy, I guess, carves a Glasgow smile into his face. There are only two characters in Joker 2, Arthur and Mr. Puddles, who are both recycled from the first movie. Every other character is a generic husk, a trite template where a character should be. Let's go through them. Generic Irish prison guard, generic nuthouse inmate, generic some guy, I guess, generic serial killer groupie, generic judge who won't accept any nonsense in his courtroom, generic vaguely smug, ambitious go-getter empty suit prosecutor, generic nice lady defense lawyer, generic asshole news reporter. Even Arthur is barely a character. He has absolutely no character development beyond what we already saw in the first movie. He just breezes vaguely between Arthur and the Joker persona. He's really more of an anchor point for the plot to happen around. He is completely passive. He only ever reacts to the actions of the plot and the generic character templates that surround him. Arthur goes to the music group because Brendan Gleeson got him in as an excuse to get out of more menial prison guard tasks. Arthur does an interview with generic asshole news reporter because generic nice lady defense lawyer thinks it might help his defense. Arthur makes a quarter-assed escape attempt because Lady Gaga starts a fire, then literally pulls him away. Even when the script blows up the courthouse, Arthur doesn't do anything. He stumbles outside, walks around concussed for a few seconds, then gets dragged into a car by a random supporter. He escapes the car not in a bid for freedom, but just to go simping after Lady Gaga, who he figures is on the steps from the first movie because the script told him so. How does Lady Gaga know the significance of the steps despite Arthur never telling her? The script told her. Lady Gaga tells Arthur to fuck off because he's not Joker anymore, which prompts him to fuck off. And then he died because he got stabbed by some guy, I guess. Arthur does not take a single consequential action in the entire movie. He does not make even one impactful decision. The only decision he makes is firing his attorney and representing himself in court. Nothing comes of his one decision because that decision does not change the outcome of the trial or have any meaningful collateral effect. The result of this ultra passivity is that Arthur, the plot that surrounds him, and thus the movie itself, is astoundingly boring. Arthur reminds me of another passive character I analysed recently. The fact that I'm even making this comparison is a testament to just how shockingly dreadful Joker 2 is. Arthur Fleck in Joker 2 reminds me of OSHA.
It's amazing that he says that Joker 2 was just that bad. Like, oh God, I can't believe I keep saying that. From what I understand, Joker 1 was meant to be like an well, its own thing, and then when they made Joker 2 was supposed to be an FU to 1 and to the audience who enjoyed Joker.
From The Acolyte. The writers constantly knock OSHA out in one place and wake her up in another as a cheat code to get her from one location to another without her having to make any decisions. Arthur Fleck is treated the same in Joker 2. The script moves him to wherever it wants him, when it wants him there. How does Arthur get to the steps so Lady Gaga can tell him to fuck off? The writers blow up the courthouse and he walks there. How does he avoid recapture in the immediate vicinity of the courthouse? The writers pull him into a car and drive him out of the area. How does Arthur get recaptured so quickly once the all-important Lady Gaga tells Arthur to fuck off? Plot beat has concluded. The writers tell the police where Arthur is. How does some guy, I guess, obtain a shank in a lunatic asylum? The writers gave it to him. I can't even say plot. The runtime of Joker 2 is stuff happens, while a bunch of boring, passive characters stand around talking about what happened in the first movie, and it is fucking mind-numbing to behold. Joker 2 exists for one reason only: because Joker 1 made over $1 billion. Joker was clearly a one-and-done movie. Arthur Fleck went through a full character arc. He was tossed into a loony bin at the end of the movie. He had taken his revenge on society. He had fully embraced his newfound identity as Joker. No one asked for a sequel to Joker for the same reason no one asked for a sequel to Fight Club. In Fight Club, a lonely man suffering from mental illness goes through an identity crisis, goes mad, gets up to some mischief, overcomes the inner demon that is destroying him, and finally achieves self-resolution. No harm done. The narrator's story was told. We did not need a sequel in which the narrator is arrested and put on trial for terrorism. There is a reason why Chuck Palahniuk's cash grab sequel, Fight Club 2, Fight Harder, has a reader rating of 3 on Goodreads, which for Goodreads is a sewer-dwellingly low score. The most liked review of that book on Goodreads is from a gentleman calling himself Joachim.
I am Jack's bitter disappointment.
If you're wondering what Fight Club 2, Fight Harder is about, Joachim.
I am Jack's bitter
disappointment.
Returned.
That's right. At the start of Fight Club 2, Sebastian, that's the narrator's name in the book, is working as an office drone for some company and living a life of placid passivity in the burbs. How original. He is married to Marla Singer. They have a son together. Marla gets bored and decides to replace Sebastian's medication for placebos so she can have an affair with Tyler. Tyler emerges, burns down the house, and heads off to create global chaos. Soon, Tyler's ultimate plan is revealed. He plans to overthrow all world governments. He will achieve this through Sebastian's son, who he plans to train into a leader of men modeled after Alexander the Great. Here is a real quote from the Wikipedia page plot summary of Fight Club 2.
Marla and her growing army of child soldiers track her son to a mountain stronghold and lay siege.
By the way, I haven't read Fight Club 2, Fight Harder, and never will. I got the plot summaries from Wikipedia. Arthur Fleck's story was told. All the significant characters from the movie are dead. Arthur murdered his mother, Murray, and Randall, and Sophie turned out to be an imaginary girlfriend based on his neighbour. All plot lines were concluded. A new movie would require a completely new plot with all new characters. The only link between Joker and a sequel would be Arthur, whose story has already been told. So why even bother making this new movie a sequel? Just make an entirely new movie, maybe based in the same universe as Joker, and advertise it as the Joker director's next big project from the Jokerverse. Joaquin Phoenix can be in the movie for 7 minutes. He's the upstart gangster protagonist's cellmate at the start. Later on, upstart gangster attends Joker's execution, at which Joker gives an awesome speech before they fry his ass. That's it. A nice little 7-minute appendage to the first movie within the broader, much more interesting narrative of a new story with a new character. Arthur Fleck is a limited character. He's good for one story, and that's it. The inherent story possibilities of his character are severely limited by his social retardation and low intelligence. Limited characters make for bad sequels. Watch any of the Crow's 3 sequels if you require proof of that. For the love of Gotham, do not watch the 2024 remake unless someone has a gun to your head and is forcing you to watch either Joker 2 or The Crow 2024. Then you can watch it. Joker 2 is so poorly written that it fails at the most basic setup and payoff. The courtroom explosion literally comes out of nowhere. The movie could have been at least vaguely compelling if, for example, Lady Gaga was a member of some Joker-inspired terrorist group. She insinuates to Arthur that they have something big planned. She doesn't know what, they don't tell her much, but they did instruct her to tell Arthur that on the day she doesn't show up to court, that is the signal to be ready to run. On the day of the explosion, Arthur looks around and Lady Gaga isn't there. Now the viewers are on the edge of their seats. Then, while Arthur is telling the jury to go get fucked at a baby oil orgy, boom! The payoff. By the way, in the Despot version, this happens at the end of the first act, not the end of the movie. Then some terrorists in Joker masks rush in, fire a few random bursts of gunfire at the jury, grab Arthur, throw him in a van, and drive him to a safe house where Lady Gaga is waiting for him. Then the happy couple and their new friends go on a Bonnie and Clyde killing spree.
Damn it. I can't believe I'm letting that get in the way.
I know, it's not winning any awards for originality, but with a bit of effort, that's a solid B. Maybe even a B+ if Brendan Gleeson tells enough jokes. While the courtroom explosion fails at setup, Arthur's closing statement to the jury fails at payoff. This is the one chance the ass script has given Arthur to do at least something. Stand tall, man! Tell them they can fry your ass so crispy that it would take P. Diddy's baby oil collection to rehydrate it. You'll never apologise for standing up to a society that treated you like trash. You do regret shooting Murray because the man wasn't worth the bull bullet you sent through his skull. Come on, Arthur, man. In the immortal words of Dustin Hoffman's Hook,
Come on, explode out of there. Stop the charade.
But instead of a big, satisfying payoff, the movie meekly and boringly shies away from it, choosing instead to
subvert the audience's expectations. That's still a thing, right?
I mean, audience subversion isn't achingly trite, is it? And so played out that it could not be more 2017 if it was walking around in platform Crocs with a quiffed undercut. Of course, Arthur cannot deliver such a rabble-rousing speech. Todd Phillips is determined to own the chuds and spit in the face of his movie's audience because he thinks a significant portion of Joker 1 fans perceived in that movie an incel rebellion theme. Instead of a fun speech, Arthur has to bore the few remaining viewers who have unwisely chosen not to walk out of the movie theater by explaining that actually the first movie sucked ass, and Arthur also sucks, and you probably suck because you're an incel or QAnon adjacent thought terrorism enabler or whatever the hell the mainstream media were vomiting out when the first movie was released.
Totally not because she won an Oscar for a movie she and Bradley Cooper made.
And they were trying to goad anyone who would listen into shooting up a movie theater. The most egregious failed payoff is, of course, the murder of Arthur. With absolutely no motive, build-up, or explanation, some guy, I guess, walks up to Arthur in the corridor, subverts the "you get what you fucking deserve" speech from the first movie, and knifes him. Why did some guy, I guess, kill Arthur? Dunno. Why didn't he do it sooner? Dunno. Where did he get the blade? Dunno. Who is he? Dunno. Then why should I give a fuck? He's Heath Ledger's Joker, maybe? Because look closely and you'll notice he carves a Glasgow smile into his face. The murder of Arthur by some guy, I guess, is the worst major character death since the Night King was killed by Arya in the season of television whose very name awakens the souls of the demented. Arya literally appears out of thin air, and the Night King, after grabbing her, does nothing but stare like an idiot while she slowly drops her dagger into her free hand so she can stab him, which somehow, for reasons known only to the Sith, causes him to spontaneously combust. While it would have been understandable for Arthur to be murdered by a vengeful inmate at the end of the first movie, it makes no dramatic sense here. In Joker 2, in this narrative, this story, Arthur doesn't do anything wrong, unless dereliction of sexual duty to a groupie counts as a crime, which it doesn't, as long as you don't ask her how old she is. Am I right, boys? Not only does Arthur not do anything wrong, he doesn't do anything. His crimes are 1 movie and 5 years.
So basically, he's just doing nothing while everyone else has to carry the movie plot. That sounds logical.
Years behind the audience. There is no catharsis in his death, and no emotional connection to the vengeance wrought upon him. Arthur's murder is an emotionally vapid, utterly bizarre dramatic beat. Arthur Fleck's death is a screenwriting disaster so calamitous that it should be taught in film school so the students can understand the concepts of setup, payoff, character motivation, cathartic release, and dramatic throughline, all of which is missing. Now, let's get on to the giant Joker face paint covered elephant in the asylum. The music.
Please no!
I know, Davis, I know. But as you and anyone who has ever attended a P. Diddy party are well aware, sometimes you just have to bear the pain and get through it. Joker 2 has been universally panned, but I have seen a few arguments hanging around the internet like a diuretic expulsion in a hotel lobby in defense of the music, and guarded praise for Todd Phillips' decision to make Joker 2 a musical. The most insane argument is that Joker 2 isn't really a musical. Sure, there's songs in it, but it's not like the entire movie, and you can kind of just ignore the music if you don't like it. This delusion is admittedly held by only a few fringe lunatics, but let's just dispel it quickly and definitively so we can move on. The soundtrack album is 41.5 minutes long. All of that music is in the movie. Joker 2's runtime is 2 hours and 18 minutes, so 30% of this movie is musical numbers. Joker 2 is a musical. It's not musical adjacent, it's not flirting with the musical genre, it's a musical. Another bad argument about the music I've come across is that as much as
Joker, Foley Adu's music doesn't exactly make me fall in love with the movie. It's far from the worst thing about it. Hey, generic movie YouTuber productions here. The music in Joker, Foley Adu, is actually kind of endearing at times in a kitsch sort of way. Joaquin Phoenix gets the songs across pretty well at times, and while present, the music is often subtle and subdued enough that it doesn't interrupt the narrative too much. I feel like the music in Foley Adu is kind of a take it or leave it proposition. And whatever your opinion of the movie itself, I'll give a lot of credit to the filmmakers for making the bold decision to make Foley Adu's a musical. I've been Generic Movie YouTuber Productions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And guys, stay generic.
There is nothing endearing or redeeming about Joker 2's song renditions. They are ghastly. And using the word bold to describe Todd Phillips' decision to make Joker 2 a musical is ridiculous. There's bold as in hiring an art house director to direct Empire Strikes Back and giving him creative control of the production, and there's stupid as in turning Cats, the worst musical ever written, into a $100 million CGI nightmarescape starring James Corden. The decision to make Joker 2 a musical falls into the latter category. It will go down in history, and indeed already has gone down in history, as an infamously stupid decision that significantly contributed to a historic box office bomb. The musical numbers themselves are terrible. They are either painfully generic big band arrangements consisting of strings, brass, drums, and piano, the kind of paint-by-numbers arrangements that have been done dozens of times by other, better artists, or lifeless, drab reinterpretations that suck all the life out of the originals. The result is that Joker 2 has no distinct musical identity. The music is either trite garbage or boring sludge. There are 15 songs in the movie, 5 have generic arrangements, 9 are drab. 1 is drab, then generic. True Love Will Find You in the End, which plays over the credits, is an outlier instrumentally because it's just Joaquin Phoenix and a guitar.
True love will find you.
The track is boring as hell and the production is wrong. It's performed in a bedroom demo style, but the mix is far too wet. The song might have been okay if it had sounded something like this.
Don't give up until true love will find you in the end.
Instead, they felt compelled to soak it in reverb, which ruined the bedroom production style they were going for. Of the two styles in the movie, drab and generic, drab is by far the worst. To give an idea of just how awful these, I won't even call them reinterpretations, these desecrations of the original songs are, here's When You're Smiling, performed by the great Nat King Cole.
The whole world smiles.
I love it. It's chill, kind of upbeat, pleasant, and beautifully performed by the incontestable Nat King Cole. Here's Joker 2's version. Now, auditory trigger warning. Karen iPhone is about to mix these two versions together to create a duet. Karen iPhone.
Smiles with you. When you're laughing, when you're laughing, the sun comes shining through.
You, just you, building your app on Base 44. Describe it. And it's real. One thought leads to more thoughts. Layer by layer, taking shape. When you need your tools, bring them in. They just click. Okay, kick it up a notch. Create something smarter, something powerful. Style counts, so give it your touch. Big or small. Next idea hits at 2 a.m. Of course it does. Keep
ads.
It's like the Joker production took the original version, ran it through an AI-created app called Shitify, then woke Joaquin Phoenix up at 4 a.m. to record his vocal in one take. It's actually quite impressive how bad it is. That level of shit takes real effort. Joaquin Phoenix's vocals are vile. It's all half-mumbled head singing with no body. His vocals are weak, thin, mumbly, quiet, wispy, and lethargic. He sounds half asleep when he's singing, and he does it in every song. I don't care that he did a decent imitation of Johnny Cash a million years ago. Whatever he's doing here sounds atrocious. His singing style has two effects on the songs he's ravaging. One, the song has to be degenerated to the level of his vocal, dragged kicking and screaming into the sewer so that Phoenix's slimy, stinking vocal can crawl putrescently over the used condoms, discarded tampons, and menstrual refuse that refuse to condescend to keep company with it, and in imitation of some venom-like manifestation of sentient slime, attach itself parasitically to the degraded musical arrangement that wants nothing more than to end its own miserable earthly existence so that it can join Lucifer in a crusade of vengeance against God for being so sadistic as to bring it into existence. Did I request thee, Maker, from my clay to mold me the arrangement for Joaquin Phoenix's vocal? Did I solicit thee from darkness to demote me? Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Right now, as I write this, I'm listening to the Shogun soundtrack by Atticus Ross. Great OST, man. Definitely check it out. All Men Can Be Broken is a particular favourite. And now, I have to stop listening to the Shogun OST so I can confirm my analysis of the songs from the Joker 2 soundtrack, which I have listened to 5 fucking times! As bad as Phoenix's quiet vocals are, his singing might actually be worse when he tries to sound like he's awake. He frequently hits bum notes. This was apparently a stylistic choice.
We had to perform live and perform the songs in ways that maybe weren't the most beautiful renditions of the song. There was something very exciting about that.
Todd Phillips did an interview with Variety in August 2024. The following is an excerpt from the interview.
But Phillips and his Joker Folie à Deux stars wanted to create a raw, more unstable sound, fluctuating between euphoria and despair, even if that occasionally required singing off-key.
So sure, you can argue that the occasional cracked tone, excessively breathy phrase, or off-pitch note is a reflection of Arthur's yo-yoing mental state, but here's the thing, I don't give a fuck. This sounds fucking awful. Especially next to Lady Gaga's vocal. Phoenix singing on his own is bad enough, but putting him in a duet with Lady Gaga is like putting Jaden Smith on screen next to Jackie Chan. Thank God.
No. Jaden Smith. Oh, God. No, just absolutely no. Awful idea.
That never happened.
You're wrong!
The vocals were recorded live on set with the piano player off camera, keeping time with Phoenix and or Lady Gaga. As a result, there are times when whole words are lost completely from the vocal. And this isn't Joaquin Phoenix's fault. It's a producer's job to catch mistakes like that and get Phoenix to do another take or to comp a better vocal. The production on a lot of these songs is just bad. Lazy as in True Love Will Find You in the end, or sloppy as in For Once in My Life. There are lots of other little mistakes all over this soundtrack, but I'm not listening to it again because if I have to suffer through this auditory canine excrement one more wanking time, I'll begin to doubt that James Corden's singing in Cats isn't the worst sound ever captured by human technology.
And just before noon's not a moment to say! Oh, God!
It's like if Jaden Smith's fashion sense was sound. Bad arrangements, sloppy performances, and crap production aside, the main problem with Joker 2's songs is this is elevator music. I mean that literally. Here is a 2002 album titled The Best of Elevator Music by a band called Star Sound Orchestra. Track number 7.
Just like me.
The song selection is catastrophic. 7 of the movie's 15 songs are from the 60s. 1 is from 1970. The oldest song is When You're Smiling, which was published in 1928. The argument for a jukebox musical song selection being this geriatric is, of course, that Joker 2 is a period movie set in 1983, so the movie can only contain songs released before that year. It's diegetic, you see. But this argument does not hold up. True Love Will Find You in the End was released in 1984. The song selection is not diegetically coherent, and the songs are not thematically period or genre related. There is absolutely no reason for Joker's songs to exist together in the same place, except maybe on a best of elevator music compilation. Another huge problem with the songs is placement. There is no logical structure to the placement of the songs. The needle drops when Todd Phillips seems to think it should. In a scene in which Arthur is discussing the events of the first movie with generic asshole journalist, he just breaks into song in the middle of the interview. Now, I certainly wasn't invested in the scene in which all they talk about is the end of Joker 1, but there was at least an element of possibility, which created some tension. I was waiting for Arthur to completely lose his shit live on air, which kept me invested on a superficial level. The second Arthur started singing, that was my cue to get up and take a piss, which really freaked out the person sitting next to me in the cinema, because having seen a few of the songs by that stage, I had surmised that they had no relevance to the plot or narrative whatsoever. They are just fantasies in Arthur's head. Functionally, their only purpose is to communicate Arthur's feelings, which the audience is already aware of because we are not morons. We know Arthur is enamored with Lady Gaga from the way he looks at her. We don't need him to spend 3 fucking minutes singing to understand that. Because the songs are irrelevant to the plot, the flow of the movie is brutally derailed every time a song makes an unwelcome appearance. The songs are not woven into the fabric of the narrative, they tear it apart. 30% of Joker Folie à Deux is actively sabotaging the momentum and watchability of the other 70%. Todd Phillips clearly does not understand even the most basic principles of how to write a musical. Here is an example of how to place a song correctly from my all-time favorite musical movie, South Park.
I'd rather finish the video. It's only like
bigger, longer, and uncut. Satan has just had an argument with his lover, Saddam Hussein. Afterward, he's feeling dejected and walks off to sing a song.
Yeah, whatever happened to that with South Park? Like now it's just Donald Trump insane. Like what the frick, South Park? Where was any insult clips of Joe Biden?
called Up There about why he wants to conquer the earth. The song is narratively connected to Satan's plan for world conquest. Up There is the final part of a dramatic sequence but also functions as its own scene. Satan starts singing after his argument with Saddam, not during it. Every song in South Park, Bigger, Longer and Uncut, comes at the start or end of a dramatic sequence, and all of them function as their own scene. And they all fucking crush.
I could be safe and live without a care. Live without a care. If only I could live up.
The songs in South Park, Bigger, Longer and Uncut work because Trey Parker understands musicals and knows how to write them. Todd Phillips does not. Quick bit of trivia, Saddam Hussein voiced himself in South Park, Bigger, Longer and Uncut. The only vaguely bright spot in Joker 2's music is Lady Gaga. She's a great singer, and what little life emanates from Joker 2's dark, bleak musical landscape comes from her. And she was clearly up for this. She did well with the crap she was given. The musical arrangements that are either turgid and generic, as in To Love Somebody, or degraded and bleak, as in When You're Smiling. And she gives a good performance, despite having no character development at all, and being an almost completely passive witness to events throughout the entire runtime of this pain threshold measurement tool that Warner mistook for a viable entertainment product. That said, even Lady Gaga can't come out clean from a river of shit this foul. Her attempt at soul singing on Gonna Build a Mountain is horribly gaudy and comes off as a fraudulent LARP, and her technical proficiency doesn't make the songs she's singing any less boring. Lady Gaga clearly wants to repeat the success she had with A Star Is Born. She was good in that movie, it raised her profile and helped her keep her concert ticket prices higher than Todd Phillips' chatbot GPT app when it wrote the ending to Joker 2. She makes roughly $6.1 million a show. Lady Gaga was so convinced that Joker 2 would be a smash hit that she made a tie-in album to piggyback off its success. More on that bright idea later. According to her team, Lady Gaga was shocked by Joker 2's critical and commercial failure and disappointed because she thought maybe the movie would get her an Oscar nomination.
This is the real me in
She thought
This is an AI replacement. The background is real.
the AI character is not.
But we can flip it.
Real person.
So yeah, don't.
She thought she can get an Oscar nomination for that horrible film. Guys, I must be either getting to the point where I'm just losing brain cells, or she's that deluded.
Don't expect to see Lady Gaga in Joker 3. But Warner, I know you're listening. Seeing as Lady Gaga's out of the threequel, I, the despot, volunteer my services as Joker's duet partner for Joker 3. And I can sing. Here is a sample of my voice from the 2020 masterpiece, I Have No Mouth and Yet I Must Scream.
I have no mouth and yet I must scream.
The quality speaks for itself. Okay, Warner?
You know what? Give this guy a shot. I think we should do it, guys. We should give this guy a shot at this.
I'm a fucking star about to go supernova. I don't work with you.
Well, my friend Despot, I gotta let you know something. Even though I'm the Emperor, my last name is Stark Star, so I was born a star. In fact, my origins are said to be, from what my parents told me, they wished upon a star. Unfortunately, they wished that when they wished that star, it was dark, and then boom, that's why I am this wreck.
You work with me. I do have a few conditions before we start filming, though. The movie will be called Joker Folia 3 and will be a franchise crossover jukebox musical with Beverly Hills Cop, starring Eddie Murphy as Axel Foley, and all the musical numbers will be emo rock covers of 90s boy band hits.
Somehow, Arthur Fleck returned.
Yeah.
If it was me dying on the sidewalk, he'd walk right over me.
You are my fire. Tell me why ain't nothing gonna Tell me why I never wanna hear you say I want it that way.
And if we can't get Eddie Murphy to play Axel Foley, we'll settle for Amanda Stenberg. I reckon
agree,
we can.
Noel. I agree. Absolute cinema.
Get her on the cheap after The Acolyte, and she's already demonstrated her immense musical talents.
But I'm sick and fucking tired of suppressing my rage.
And on a personal level, I'm just a huge fan of hers and would love to work with her. She is just the worst, horrible wee that I've seen in popular media in years. She's disgusting. And to anybody calling me a punk for hawking my ass to Warner, exposure matters, okay? The despot's gotta stay relevant in this here game. There's a reason the star of the 2012 3D movie, Katy Perry Part of Me, Katy Perry, is a washed-up has-been and internet punching bag. That said, her recent single, Woman's World, did reach number 63 on the Billboard Hot 100. And even if it isn't exactly a masterpiece, it's gotta be better than anything from Joker 2, right?
Yeah, she's a flower. She's a thorn.
Joker 2 should not have been a musical.
I think Noble set me up for this. Noble, did you set me up to watch that one clip of her putting the gas pump in there? I'm fully awake now, thanks.
But if you're going to do something wrong, do it right. If you're going to miscast the role of Don John in Much Ado About Nothing, make damn sure you miscast it with Keanu Reeves, because as bad as he was in that movie, my God did he give it his all, turning in an all-time classic bad performance from a great actor.
In the meantime,
don't worry, no, I'll just go through it.
and seek not to alter me. Ferraccio, what news?
Making Joker 2 a musical was wrong. The song selection was also wrong. Joaquin Phoenix's singing was wrong. The musical arrangements were wrong. The placement and function of the songs in the narrative was wrong.
It's just wrong.
Joker, Folie à Deux, has been an unmitigated catastrophe for Warner. Karen iPhone? The movie is one of the biggest box office bombs of all time. It bombed on opening weekend and had an 81% drop in its second weekend. That is the highest all-time drop for a comic book movie. The previous record was held by The Marvels, which had a 78% second weekend drop. In its second week, Joker 2 was beaten by Terrifier 3, The Wild Robot, and Beetlejuice 2, which was on its sixth box office weekend and was simultaneously available on premium video on demand. Once again, Michael Keaton has defeated the Joker. Joker 2, a $200 million flagship Warner Brothers movie, was crushed at the box office by an indie horror sequel with a budget of $2 million. After 2 weeks, Joker 2 had made $165 million against a $200 million production budget and $100 million marketing budget. Good old Dan Merrill ran the numbers, and according to his estimates, by the time Joker 2 finishes its pathetic box office run, Warner's final loss on this ill-fated endeavor will be around $200 million, which makes it the sixth biggest box office bomb of all time. Todd Phillips' jukebox musical sequel has already overtaken The Flash to become the second biggest comic book movie flop of all time, the biggest being The Marvels, starring Brie Larson.
There's no competition for me because I'm the strongest, so...
Joker 2 also has the distinction of receiving a D cinema score, the lowest ever for a comic book movie. On the plus side, the movie achieved the admirable and rare feat of uniting both audiences and critics, whose Rotten Tomatoes scores for Todd Phillips' jukebox musical sequel averaged 32% and 33% respectively. Joker 2 is the most walked out of movie in recent history. Here are a few quotes from disappointed cinemagoers who had their evening ruined by Joker Folie à Deux.
Joker 2 was the biggest fucking letdown. Had enough. That sucked. It was like a musical, and I love musicals, but it was a shit musical.
Wish I stayed at home and got my housemate to repeatedly punch me in the face instead.
Never seen it happen before, but every musical set piece this film did, more and more people kept leaving the theater.
Last night was the first time in my life I've seen people get up in the middle of a movie and walk out. Joker 2 is horrible. Save your money.
I have to leave. I can't finish this movie. It sucks.
When she visited him in prison and started singing, I walked out. Fuck that shit.
Todd Phillips insisted that there should be no test screenings for Joker 2, as he didn't want his big reveal that fans of the first movie should go fuck themselves to be spoiled. Warner Brothers were so arrogant in their belief that Joker 2 would be a smash hit that they agreed to the villain Phillips' demand, confident that the brain-dead idiot audience would go see anything with the brand Joker slapped on the title. Even if they had held test screenings and realised how badly the movie would go down with audiences, there's nothing they could have done to fix it. No amount of
It's not about the money. It's about sending the message. Todd Phillips took that quote to heart. Indeed, Noble, indeed.
Shoots can fix a movie this empty and broken, and they were never going to spend less than $100 million on marketing. In a gorgeous twist of poetic justice, Warner rejected offers from Alkin Entertainment and Village Roadshow, who wanted to buy a stake in the production because Warner wanted to keep all the juicy profits to themselves. The result is that Warner's losses...
Warner never let you down. While Todd Phillips might not be about the money, Warner sure is.
were massively increased. The fallout from the Joker 2 debacle has not stopped at one box office bomb. Lady Gaga had the great idea to release a cover album of American jazz standards called Harlequin, inspired.
If only Pokemon could crash and burn like that, so we can go back to good video games, including Pokemon ones. I don't know about if that would solve the crisis Pokemon is currently facing, but if it does, then yeah, I agree with you with that one, Meta. I want Pokemon to be back to the good old days where it was actually fun and
Inspired by Joker 2, which she describes as a companion album to the movie. Harlequin is the worst performing album of Lady Gaga's career, debuting at number 20 on the Billboard 200, missing out on the much coveted number 19 spot only due to the phenomenal success of Fireworks and Rollerblades by Benson Boone, a just end to an unjust endeavour. By far the worst collateral damage wrought by the J2 bomb is that filmmakers will now have a far harder time keeping studios out of the filmmaking process. Warner gave Todd Phillips a free hand with Joker 2. He had full creative control of the project and final cut. That is astoundingly rare for a high-budget movie, and I will give Warner credit for letting a director make the movie he wanted to make. Unfortunately, it was the wrong director and the wrong movie. Now, due to Todd Phillips' fuck-up, Warner are being criticised for their hands-off approach. Hollywood studios will be shortening their leashes on directors and will be much more reluctant to greenlight projects perceived as risky. Bear in mind, Hollywood cannot distinguish between a project that is risky, as in Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr. playing Tony Stark, and a project that is stupid, as
in postseason football, you need to find that extra gear. Playoff mode.
In his August 2024 interview with Variety, the villain Todd Phillips responded to rumours that Joker 2 cost $200 million.
I read these stories, and it seems like they're on the side of the multinational corporations. They're like, why does it cost so much? They sound like studio executives. Shouldn't people be happy that we got this money out of them and we use it to go hire a bunch of crew people who can then feed their families?
We will begin with Phillips' assertion that he is Robin Hood, taking from the greedy corporation and giving to the impoverished cameraman. Todd Phillips' salary for Joker 2 was $20 million. 10% of the budget. His first priority was not to feed starving gaffers, it was to fill his lair with chests of gold. And since Todd Phillips of Loxley does not seem to understand even the most basic principles of economics, here's a free lesson for him. Budgets are finite. When Warner spends $200 million of their annual movie production budget on Loxley's middle finger to Joker fans, that's money that does not go to other projects. And when Loxley's middle finger to the fans is rejected by the fans and deservedly bombs, leaving a $200 million hole in Warner's finances, that means they have to scrap plans they had for other smaller projects. There are film crews today who are out of work. Filmmakers who will not get to make their movie because of the vanity, folly, and folie à deux of the villain Todd Phillips of Loxley. I want to finish this video with a confession. I have a rule on this.
Oh my venti half milk quarter non-fat extra soy split quad shots half decaf regular no foam whip Splenda raw vanilla syrup short sprinkles cinnamon pumpkin spice latte. If I have to listen to another second of your incel glorifying screed, I might have to order a shot of soy powdered cyanide to go with my next Starbucks stakeout. Okay, let's unpack this. The $200 million lost on Joker, folie à deux, is a small price to pay for the satisfaction of owning the incel fanbase. And even if the end product didn't pan out so great, the idea of making a sequel that put the incel fandom firmly in their place and made clear that Arthur was a villain and not a victim is exactly the kind of sequel that we need in a toxic fan-infested culture. And I'm here for it. And anyway, if nothing else, Joker, folie à deux proves that Joker 1 was never that good to begin with. So you and your limp dick bea soy snowflake right woke bro incel chud dude brug geek frat crybitch toxic fan subscribers can go get fucked at a baby oil giveaway. And Joker 2's music might be ass, but who the hell are you to criticize it? Bro, I've listened to your music. I'd rather Jaden Smith fucked me in both ears with a strap-on dildo made out of James Corden's armpit hair and lubricated with Amandla Stenberg's menstrual blood than listen to that trash again.
No, non-playable sheep, Joker 2 was a disaster in concept, as well as in execution. Todd Phillips should not have made his sequel a musical because Joaquin Phoenix had a dream where Joker sang a song, nor should he have used the movie as a platform for petty, Karenish chud scolding. When Phoenix related his dream to Todd Phillips, Phillips should have responded, "That's nice, Joaquin. Maybe we can have that song from your dream play at the end of the movie credits."
And no one regarded Arthur as a heroic figure worthy of admiration.
The audience liked Arthur Fleck because he was an interesting, thought-provoking character who simultaneously elicited sympathy and repulsion. The unwatchable wank that calls itself a sequel to Joker will never be able to change the fact that Joker is a masterpiece and one of the best movies of the 2010s. As I was saying, I have a rule on this channel. I must watch every movie or show I review in a dedicated video at least twice. I watched Women Talking twice. I watched The Acolyte twice. I watched The Marvels 3 times.
3 fucking times!
I watched Dread 4 times, but that was actually enjoyable. I did not, and will not, ever watch Joker 2 a second time because there's nothing more to say about it than what I was able to get out of
He
one
really
miserable
does not
viewing.
like
Joker
Joker
2
2,
spends
not that I
almost
blame
its
him.
entire runtime going over the events of Joker 1, so an in-depth analysis of Joker 2 would be me talking about a movie which spends...
Guys, if I wanted an in-depth analysis of watching Joker 2, I would have just listened to you and just watched Despot at this point. Because this pretty much sums it up.
all its time talking about another movie, and such an analysis, like Joker, Folie à Deux, would be pointless. That said, I did rewatch the first Joker movie and South Park Bigger, Longer and Uncut.
Soon Saddam and I will rule the world.
I got some new luggage for a trip up to Earth. Let's fuck to celebrate.
Is the title of that movie supposed to be a reference to an uncircumcised cock? I just realised that. Joker 2 is the worst movie of 2024. It is worse than Borderlands. It is worse than The Crow.
Tell me, how on earth could it possibly be worse?
Well, penuried
that's
Jew,
how it
while
can
those
work.
movies are merely standalone piles of trash that came and went with all the cultural impact of a fart in a hurricane, the villain Todd Phillips of
In a
Loxley's
hurricane?
Jukebox musical
What?
sequel actively attempts to desecrate the legacy of its predecessor. Joker 2 is a terminal parasite, simultaneously dependent on the OG for its existence, yet determined to kill it, even if this causes its own demise. And while Borderlands and The Crow do at least attempt to tell their own stories, Joker 2 is nothing more than a tedious, sleepy commentary on another movie. Joker Folie à Deux's legacy is that it will be a cautionary tale in how not to do a sequel, a disastrous box office bomb that did everything wrong, and a regular on worst sequels of all time lists. Arthur, what do you get when you make a cash grab sequel no one wanted that shits all over its vastly superior predecessor?
I'll tell you what you get. Call the police. Get what you fucking deserve.
Well, guys.
Let's
this
cover
was
10 pro tips.
No, no ads. Well, guys, gotta say, that was a pretty fun video. Definitely gonna subscribe to him. Oh, wait, I should at least give him a like. I actually did enjoy the video. Sucks I had to speed it up though, but I just wanna get some sleep soon. So anyway, I appreciate you guys staying with me and watching the stream. Yes, you're right. Claps. Keep Pokemon afloat at this point. True. You're right. You're right, Noble. Them damn scalpers. Yeah, of course. I agree with you, Meta. Alright, guys. You all take care. I'm gonna go get some Z's. I'll see you guys when I see you. Take care, okay?